What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a good day. I certainly am, because I've just found, I found it ages ago, but I've now like fully understood how it looks terrible. Start the intro again. What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a good day. I certainly am, because I found out how to use this plugin in Logic, which, just kind of feels like it should be rubbish, but really is super powerful, and it is the Bitcrusher. And I'll try and keep this video a bit short and just try and get to the point, because I know once you kind of know what this does, some of you guys are going to be really wanting to use it. So let's get into it. So pretty much I got this sample here. It's got a super cool bass, some stuff going on in the background, because on the MPC 500 that you can actually take files from your computer on there. I've just got this whole list of things that I want to put on there, but obviously you can't actually downsample on the MPC 500. I know you can on the 1000 and 2000, where you can sample down to even 4-bit sounds and at a 29,000 kilohertz sample rate, but it's kind of a bit, you have to actually do settings in here, and this Logic only does 8-bit, and if you bounce it out in 8-bit, it won't let you bring it back in, which is just stupid. So they give you this thing called a Bitcrusher, and what that does is pretty much just crush down the bits. So, drop the bit rate, or the bit depth, I think it is. It's to do with the frequency, the sample rate is to do with the amplitude. That's what it is in the wave. Yeah, this is just kind of to get your samples sounding a bit more like they've come out of the S950, because I know you MPC guys out there, if you make beats on the MPC, you're probably going to know what the S950 is, or the S900, and I know you're going to be wanting one. But I know you're also not going to have enough money to get one. Yeah, welcome to my world. Because they're really good. They're just super good machines, aren't they? But they are super expensive and super rare as well to get one at a good, decent price. And I've been looking on eBay pretty much the whole time for one. And to get one from the UK, so that you don't have to pay $100 on postage, it's just super hard. And to get one that isn't broken, because sometimes the screen's worn out and stuff. It's just so hard. So I've shown you a sample. I'm going to show you some drums after this, but for samples it's really cool. But you have to know how to use it properly. So we're going to distortion, Bitcrusher. I'll put it on stereo. You get given this. It gives you some presets, but they're kind of a bit I think they're more for effects, if you just want to mix it in, because it gives it this mix knob here, which is pretty handy if you want to back it off a bit, because it does give you some random noises. So what I do is I just start by taking the drive all the way off. Obviously the S950 is 12-bit, so I put it to 12-bit. And then this is kind of a relative representation of the wave. So here you've got a nice sine wave going along, and if we drive it, obviously that clips it and it'll turn it into a square wave. You see, if we do this, it drives it earlier. This isn't obviously the actual thing of the wave. What it means is what it gets. It gets easier to think about when you do this. So downsampling. See here, if I downsample it 10 times, actually 8 times. No, I want to get it even. So here, if I downsample it 6 times or something, you can see that from this nice smooth sine wave, we've now got this kind of more grainy wave, because the sample rate and bit depth have been, expanded out. So it's kind of just got to assume where the wave is more. So imagine this is your pure analog wave coming in from your turntable or something. And then if you've got a 12-bit sample or something, this is what it's kind of like a rough picture. It's not exact, but it's good enough that you still know the shape of the wave. Obviously, if you do something ridiculous with it like that, see bit depth 1 bit, it can only be on or off. 2 bits, there can be 2 different points, one on or in the middle, and then you start getting to see it properly at around about 8-bit. That's why 8-bit is such a kind of baseline number. I think that's what phone calls are, because you can understand full words and stuff in 8-bit. You want to be really subtle with all this kind of stuff, so I put it to 3 or 4. And then drive, just depends on what sample it is. So let me play you the sample without it, and then with it, and then we'll do some stuff with the driver mixer. So you can hear the bass is a bit more. can hear that obviously there's that noise in the back. I think that is in like the actual S950 and SP1200s. It doesn't occur so much because it's actual circuitry going through this, just a computer emulation, and obviously they wouldn't have got it completely right. So you want to be really subtle. I put the drive up here because it gives the bass just some more punch, and you also get to hear a bit of crackling and stuff. Downsampling, obviously really subtle, bit resolution, you know what it is, it's 12. And then I mixed it in because I wanted to kind of get rid of that noise a tiny bit, but still make it there. And then now when you turn it off, it just sounds like super boring. Especially here. Can you hear on the bass? On the twang? It just sounds a lot cooler and like a lot retro. I just tried playing around with some different pitches, like, you know, 2, 3, so let's check it. If you were in this with headphones, you can just really hear it ringing out, and it sounds super cool. But then if we put the Bitcrusher after it, it might sound slightly different. I'm not sure, I haven't tested it before. Yeah, so it's a really subtle difference. I think one is whether you get more in, like more of the variation kind of in the bass, and then I think if you put it before, you get kind of more variation in the high notes, because obviously the Bitcrusher is acting on it first. But yeah, I mean, that's super cool. I pretty much do that on most of my things now. But let me show you it on, in fact, a drum loop now. So let me drag one in. Alright, so I've put this drum loop in here. Just simple drums, pretty bouncy. Obviously you can see it's been heavily processed and limited. So let's get the Bitcrusher on. And you can see why I'm talking about using it subtly, because when you just do one of these, like 8-bit classic, yeah, because we all use that though. Let's get back to what I was talking about. 12-bit, put it through the S950. Clip, maybe down sample 4 times. So that's turns over. I think this works a tiny bit on the kick. I think we might need a bit of EQ just to, yeah, do that. Because it's pretty heavy. Sorry, I didn't line that up. I actually didn't know it lined up. And then if we take all the Bitcrushers off, it just sounds a bit boring, especially on the drums once you get used to it. It just makes the hi-hat so more or less defined. Yo, that's actually super cool. I had no idea it was pretty much exactly 94 BPM. But yeah, let me know if that helped out. Let me know if you think that's as cool as I do, because that's super cool, isn't it? Especially on the drums. But you know, just be careful. Just don't use it don't go mad on it, obviously. And that's why I'm kind of showing you this, so that you know that it's not just like a stupid distortion thing where you can ramp everything up and make it sound like crazy terrible. It's just something you can use, like to just add a bit of color and stuff to your drums and your samples. So yeah, give it a like if you thought that was helpful. Subscribe if you thought it was really helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.